We are one day away, guys. One day away from the 2023 NFL Draft. Shout out to everybody here in the chat box. Give yourselves a round of applause. We've made it, bro. We've made it. Tomorrow's a big day. Christmas in April, bro. How are you doing, Mike? Are you ready for this for the day of days tomorrow?
Dude, I am ready. I'm so ready. Cowboys going tight end. Cowboys going running back. And stop it. They're not going either unless something crazy happens. I'm talking tight end running back by the Dallas Cowboys is probably, in my estimate, a 4% chance, Joe.
Yeah. It's definitely uh, from all the history of Mike McCarthy integrated with the AI technology. Cowboys prefer to go first round offense here. So that being said, McCarthy, what does he like to do? The lineman. Okay. Lineman, first round. He likes also wide receivers, second, third round. This is his preference. The occasional safety and cornerback defensively, but those have been some of the rare one offs. Tonight, we have, I have inside news on two players here. Cowboys have high interest in and could be surprise selections here for the Cowboys tonight. So what you'll hear tonight, exclusive, is good stuff, man. We know we always give you good quality content here. No BSing, straight cold hard facts, right? And we might even get into a mock draft scenario here or two with Mike and me here. Get into the NFL draft eve, man. I cannot wait, Mike. I got to tell you that this seemed like a long time ago that we started this, and here we are, a couple years down, doing the special mock draft eve special with you and I. Glad to have you on here. We're going to talk about all the latest rumors. Who are the possible picks here, Mike? And I want to get your scenario and your thoughts on day two and day three players. But before we get into that, Mike, I gotta ask you, bro, who is your guy? Your feet are to the flames. Who's the pick there at 26?
You talked about AI and them doing this and them doing that on offense, dude. They're just my guy would be first round, right? Steve Avila, TCU. That would be my guy. That would sure up a lot of things with Steve Avila coming to the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah. So that's definitely one of the names that has been a hot name here for Cowboys Nation for quite a while now. Feels a need, right? Cowboys looking at guards, obviously. It is a need. They brought in a free agent, um, Chuma, former third round pick out of the Jets. He's here with the Cowboys. So they have players here, right? But I think of all the players, it won't stop them from drafting a player. Um, we traded for two players, right? Stephon Gilmore. Oh, we're not going to draft a cornerback. Got information here, guys. I got information here that's going to be very interesting for you guys. Also, Mike, we got the wide receiver via trade. Is that stopping you from drafting a wide receiver? I don't think so.
No, that don't stop you from
I don't
drafting a
think
wide
so.
receiver.
So the names to start thinking about. I gotta pull up my notes here because I had a long conversation here with three of my guys here working the Midwest and the West Coast. So got a lot of good notes here from my contacts. Michael, Mr. Sanchez. Where would you think the Cowboys have Michael Mayer, the tight end, rated?
Oh, so they came out in the press conference for the other day, right? And they said they got 15 to 18 number one draft picks. Michael Mayer is a damn good football player, right? I mean, for tight end at 26, it's a safe pick. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating I gave him a 4% chance of picking it, but Michael Mayer has to be up there, Joe. I mean, because the talent is there. I mean, it just is. I mean, Michael Mayer could ball, right? And he be that 18th. So they got 15 to 18th. They got three players they're not sure on. Michael Mayer is probably in that 15 to 18 that they're not sure on.
Yeah, yeah, and honestly, I'm leaning more towards 15. I think 18 in this draft. And I've said this before, Mike. This draft class is one of the weaker ones in most recent years. I mean, probably since we've been covering it. So I think it's more on the 15 myself. I think 12 to 15, sure shot type of first round kind of guys. So Michael Mayer probably one of them there. Um, I got a tip here that they're out on Torrance, Osiris Torrance. The work ethic has scared off a lot of teams. It's a player that you could see probably drop to the second or third round, from what I've been told. So he he'll be in the mix. Give me one moment here, Mike. If you could elaborate there on Torrance, I will be right back. I gotta take this real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Cowboys are, like Joe said, they're out on Torrance. The work ethic, just hasn't been very good for Torrance and NFL teams, man. When they interview these players, when they call schools, they call high schools, right? They talk to. I mean, it's like you're trying to apply for the FBI, man. The background checks that the NFL does to these players is extreme. All right, I mean they dig deep. Um, they can go back as far as elementary and talk to some of those people too. They can talk to friends and colleagues and stuff like that, right? So, work ethic. If you're lazy, you're not going to get drafted. You're going to fall, and you're going to fall, and you're going to keep falling.
That's where we're at, Mike. They kind of went through this with Lyle, right? He was probably one of the prime examples where it just didn't work out. It was more of a headache, than they thought it was going to be. They've dealt with that with Felix Jones. It's just not something that they want to deal with. I think also what they've dealt with Kelvin Joseph, it's just like they're at the point where they're like, you know, um, we're not going to get these kinds of players. And they kind of mentioned this a little bit in their press conference. As far as like, you got to be dependable, right? You got to be reliable and this sorts of thing. And I know that one there. Probably surprised a couple of people there. Michael, Michael, let's talk about the edge rusher, Will McDonald. Is he outside of those, that first round range? Would he be a guy there at 26 that you would feel comfortable with?
Yes and no. Yeah, I mean, it all depends, like how the board falls, right? I mean, Will McDonald, I can see him slipping in the second round. I could see him going right there, 25, 30, somewhere right there, 231, 32, right? Cowboys are in there. Cowboys are in that range. Or he could be like the DeMarcus Lawrence, where a team, okay, let's go trade 33. Let's go trade for 33, and we're going to get McDonald. That could go that way too. Or he could just keep slipping and slipping, maybe get down there, to 60 or something, right? So it all depends on how teams have him drafted. But he could be second round, middle round, or towards right. I mean, dead last in the first round, Joe.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. I talked about it early on here about Will McDonald name being attached to the Cowboys here very early on, and the name really caught on afterwards. And he became a workout here for the Cowboys. There's high interest there. Dan Quinn, if he works you out with a private workout, that kind of puts you above a lot of other players. Question is, like you said, Mike, where does he rank on where these guys are ranked at right now? If you're talking about a Michael Mayer, if you're talking about a Jameer Gibbs, if you're talking about any of these other players, maybe you
Lucas
know,
Van Ness or Ty. I mean,
yeah,
where do they have Lucas Van Ness? Do they have Tyree Wilson? Where does Will
right.
McDonald fall in? Because there's reports that Van Ness and Wilson are graded higher than McDonald.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it is, man. It's interesting to see how this is going to fall. Where do they have him at? I think how the Cowboys have this board. I think he is a name that would be in play there if they stuck there at 26. Um, a name that has been revealed to me that the Cowboys could potentially take here is this guy right here, Mike. Jalen Hyatt. Okay, let's talk about this guy here. Cowboys have high interest here. Jalen Hyatt. Talking about adding another weapon. Okay, like I said earlier, we traded for two players, short-term deals. This player here, Jalen Hyatt, last season, 1,267 yards and 15
67 catches. Yeah.
yeah, 67 catches, 5 touchdowns against that vaunted Alabama defense. So, if you watch the Steve Smith breakdown of Jalen Hyatt, he likes this guy, man, and I like his evaluation of Jalen Hyatt. If you missed that, go check him out. Cowboys have interest here. West Coast product here for the Cowboys. I think he's a perfect fit. If you're at 26 and you got some players and you're kind of wiped out, like I said, Mike McCarthy likes to go offense. Preferably would like receivers in the second or third round, but you can't pass on the talent here. Cowboys send out a coach receiver uh, Prince out here to work these guys out for the pro day. So they're very familiar with Jalen Hyatt and Cedric Tillman. Mike, what's your thought on Jalen Hyatt as one of these not so talked about players here in round one at 26?
That's not sexy. I mean, I'm sure Jalen Hyatt is rated a second round pick on a lot of people's boards, even maybe some NFL teams, right? Um, it's not going to be the sexiest pick, right? I mean, it's like what was his name? I think the Eagles drafted what was Jalen something. I can't remember his name, but the Eagles drafted. Everyone was like, "What? They drafted him over CeeDee Lamb. It was a player over CeeDee Lamb, right?" This is kind of like that. So if the Cowboys do that in the first round, Joe, to me, it has to be the best player on the board. Don't reach for him because
Yeah.
I can see him slipping into the second round.
Yeah, Jalen Hyatt's going to be one of those ones where would he be there at 58? I don't think he'll be there at 58. So then it comes into play. Can you move down a little bit and still get Hyatt? You start getting down into those bottoms. You know, uh, you gotta watch out for these teams that would like this type of player. San Francisco would love him. Uh, you know, Obviously, the Chiefs will like him. They're just the Chiefs keep adding receivers, adding more weapons for Mahomes, and I think this is where the Cowboys need to think about wide receiver here, and it's the fit, right? It's the speed. He runs a 4.4.
Yeah.
Great hands, can catch everything from the slot and on the outside, and can take it home. He's a home run hitter. So I like that indeed out of Jalen Hyatt. I think he's a name that Cowboys fans should be prepared for here at round one if they take the pick here. And I think that if they do this, Mike, it's because other players got wiped out. A lot of people like Darnell Wright. I think he's going early. I think he's going to go in the teens. Um, I would love him, but I think Darnell Wright's going to be gone. But they like these players out of Tennessee this year. They like Darnell Wright. While looking at him, they like Hendon Hooker. They like Hyatt. I mean, they're loaded on defense. They like the
Yeah.
linebackers. They like the line. I mean, the Tennessee is going to put in a lot of players in this
Yeah.
draft. Probably the
That
most that they've
tackle
had.
though is nice. Darnell Wright, that tackle is nice.
Yeah, they're going to put in a lot of players here in the NFL. Jalen Hyatt here for the Cowboys at 26 would be phenomenal weapon for Dak Prescott, and somebody that like we said, Mike, that San Francisco game highlighted it. You lose one player, and you can only rely on CD. That's not going to get it done. You know what I mean? Yeah, we did get the receiver we traded for. You know, but what if he goes down? Is it back to CD Lamb? I think you got to keep adding weapons here, Mike.
No, it's only smart that you do. I mean, you look at uh, teams that revolve in the play. I mean, Bill Belichick when Tom Brady, he would sign former Browns first round picks that didn't make it and turn them into Pro Bowl caliber players, right? You have to. The NFL's not for long. What have you done for me lately, right? And if you're not trying to get younger, stronger, and faster, then you're gonna lose in the National Football League. I mean, and you're gonna and the edges, the linebacker. You look at Micah Parsons getting drafted as linebacker, listed as a linebacker. Yes, he's an edge rusher, right? But those are the type of linebackers that are coming into the National Football League. Tyron Smith can't hang with those edge rushers, right? So he can't even hang with the edge rusher like McDonald. I mean, he's going to do good in practice, right? But in a game, high speed, come on. Tyron Smith can't do that, right? Tyler Smith can. Why? Because you're getting younger, stronger, faster. That's how you got to do this. That's why any Cowboy fan that is on the Zeke train to get back on this team is high. They are low-key faded, bro.
One of my favorite videos all time, Ezekiel Elliott. I'm low key faded, bro. I love Zeke, bro. I love him. Love that guy. But yeah, man, Jalen Hyde here, and he's got the swagger, man. This guy,
He does.
you need a little bit more of that, right? I think you got your number one with CD. Now try to find your other guy to line him up and be your 1-2 punch here. You know what I mean? I think as much as we like, you know, Gallup, I think that ship is sailed. He's kind of just he might be something we don't know. Um, Dang it. The guy we traded for, I cannot remember his name, dude.
Brandon Cooks.
Brandon Cooks. Dang it, that's his name. Okay, so Brandon Cooks. I was brain farting that dang name this whole time. So Brandon Cooks has a little bit of injury history there. So you got to be prepared here, right? So I would like this pick here, and to hear rumblings that Jalen Hyde could possibly be the pick here from a couple of my buddies here that have some insight. I really like that, Mike. So well, that's enough there about Jalen Hyatt. Let's see how everything shakes out. I think that'll be an interesting selection of the Cowboys go there. Um, Wide receiver, they also Zay Flowers was a 30 visit, and obviously Jackson Jigba. But I think both those guys will be gone. So that leaves another weapon here that I think Mike McCarthy, they're going to give him the keys here to get the groceries for the offense, because at the end of the day, the offense is still the weak link of this team, Mike. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely.
So the offense, the weak link here. The guard, like I said, I feel like they can grab one here to compete there for that position in the second or third round. Maybe even you can maybe push it to the fourth, but I think you still have to come out of this draft with a guard, Mike. Um, Another player here that was revealed to me the Cowboys have interest in. This one here, we're going on defense now, Mike. Julius Brents, cornerback out of Kansas State, 6'3", 204, Mike. 6 interceptions in his career there at Kansas State, 6.5 tackles for a loss in his career here. So what they like about this player here, they've been following him. This is a Senior Bowl special. So Julius Brents, we know the Cowboys like drafting out of the Senior Bowl. Julius Brents is one of these players. Contact with him there. Contact with him at the scouting combine. And from what I've been told, they like him. They're telling him to keep an eye. If you're there, they're going to take him. So keep an eye on Julius Brents. This guy's being mocked anywhere from a 1 to a 3. So depends, where you would grab him. I don't see Brents lasting to the third round. I don't even know if he'll make it to round 2, where the Cowboys are at 58, Mike. So it might be a move where you might have to move up to grab this player here. Mike, what's your thoughts on a quarterback? On the cornerback early, some people mentioned Joey Porter at 26. If he falls there, I think that would be a no-brainer as well. So there's something to be said about getting another cornerback here kind of early. So if you don't do cornerback with Joey Porter, or maybe he's probably not even going to be there.
He
But
won't
look
be
at the
there.
second round. How do you feel about a cornerback in the second round?
No, that's your money, right? Cornerback in the second round is your money. The wingspan, though, on Julius Brents is off the charts, Joe. Now, you talk about bump and run, all right? This guy, the wingspan to be able to have the closing speed, knock the ball out because of that wingspan. I like it, Joe. I like it. I like it a lot. But I think I mean, I'm all for corner second round. Seriously, I mean, you look at Gilmore that's in here. Jordan Lewis is on the cusp. So if they draft, I really feel, and I told you this here earlier today. I feel
Yeah.
like if they go corner 1, 2, or 3, that's the writing on the wall. Jordan Lewis could possibly get traded. The value of be 6th, 7th round pick. Maybe you trade player for player. But if they go corner here with the emergence of Deron Bland, Gilmore, then you get Julius Brent, and then do you pay Trayvon Diggs, right? So Jordan Lewis has a uphill, or you can keep Jordan Lewis and trade Bossman Fat, right? So one of these two guys, Bossman Fat or Jordan Lewis, could be trade bait, Joe, if they go corner 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah, from when I have good notes here on this. Cowboys were actually interested in drafting Tariq Woolen, who ended up being a star cornerback for the Seahawks this past season. Similar measurables, 6'3", 6'4" area. Woolen a lot faster though. He ran like a 4.3 something. Julius Brents is a 4.5. They like Brents as a possible flex guy at safety, but they also like him at cornerback. So I think what you have here, like you just said, Mike, you draft a cornerback early. Somebody's out. Somebody's out. Uh, it was mentioned here that Kelvin Joseph they've soured on him, so he's probably more of a camp body at this time. And now they're looking for somebody to play opposite of Trayvon Diggs and protect themselves. And if there's a possible issue in signing Trayvon Diggs, so but we got Stephon Gilmore, Mike. We don't need a cornerback this early. That'll be the argument. What do you say about that? Because that'll be said. Why are we drafting Joey Porter in the first, or why are we drafting so and so in round 2 at cornerback, Mike?
Because it's smart. You got Jordan Lewis coming up for contract. Gilmore is on a 1-year deal. Trayvon Diggs is coming. There's no guarantee we're going to pay him, right? He could be franchise tag, be pissed off, and hold out. You never know how this is going to go. You have to protect what's working. And if talent is there, go get talent. And Julius Brent out of Kansas State, Joe, is talent. And I like that safety flex because when I was reading up on that arm span, I was like, is this Byron Jones? I was like, nah, this ain't Byron Jones. Is this Byron Jones? Can he play that safety corner flex? Right? That was my comparison, right? So I kind of see that in old Brent's here. But no, I think you have to get younger, stronger, faster.
Yeah. And that's what they have here in Julius Brents. He's got a sub 7 3 cone, which shows the able to cut and run and chase down players. Tackled behind for a loss. I think that's a big one here. So he's really good in run support. You're not going to get, like you said, Byron Jones didn't want to get physical. He could cover the hell out of people, but he didn't want to get in that scrum. So Julius Brents is a perfect combination and would be kind of like, like another Trayvon Diggs kind of steal, like somebody that has first round traits, but maybe they feel better about taking him in the second round. And then you come out of this draft with another cornerback here, and you don't have to worry about, what if Gilmore pulls a hamstring? Well, you got this plug and play player. He's going to be your future anyway. Plug him in there. Kelvin Joseph, he's out of here. Trayvon Diggs, Julius Brents, and then you're going to keep adding
Deron
to.
Bland in the slot, baby. That's youth.
Yeah,
That's youth.
yeah, exactly. All of a sudden, you have revamped that secondary too. Possibly that no fly zone 2.0, and then continue to add to that D line, Mike. So
No, for sure. No, for
yeah,
sure. And
I
then
like
guess
that
what?
there. I think that's good inside information for you guys there. Julius Brents, keep an eye on that one here for the draft. Mike, what is your strategy here for later in the draft? Like what do you want to come away with here? And like let's say you're third, fourth, fifth round, this range.
No, for like third round, like okay, let's say we miss wide receiver, first and second, right? Can you get a Marvin Mims out of Oklahoma in the third round? Okay, let's say you miss that. Let's say you miss that corner. You get your wide receiver, you get your guard. Okay, can we get Troy Trice out of Purdue? Right? So like there's so many names,
I like
that
it.
that that you can work here, but it's all about those boards, Joe. Right? Um, Running back. How far? Fourth round. Okay, is a Dwayne McBride there? Can you go get Dwayne McBride? Right?
Oh, yeah.
Uh, or Johnson out of Texas. Um, KJ Henry, Clemson, the edge rusher there. Fourth round, third round, late in the third round, maybe. You know what I'm saying? So I want to get those positions of need there, but smart needs, not a reach, best BPA, right? So you look at tight end in the fourth, tight end in the fifth, wide receiver, defensive tackle, linebacker. I'm all for getting younger, stronger, faster, Joe. But that's what I want to see in those later rounds. But smart picks, smart picks.
Yeah, and then the Cowboys have been relatively good at doing that, Mike. So smart picks. There's also the roll the dice pick, Mike. Who is a roll the dice pick in what round, Mike? Give me a round. Give me a name.
Hmm. Man. Voorhees, the guard. Andrew Voorhees in the fourth round would be that pick. Yes, he's high graded offensive lineman, but he tore his ACL. Right? How far will he? How far will Voorhees go down? That would be that pick for me, Joe.
Yeah. Speaking of that, going back to my notes here from a couple of my sources, the one for me, Mike, is going to be Maisie Smith, and I also think that
Oh,
he's going to be a roll the dice player in the fourth round.
okay.
Oh no, Maisie Smith is a first round. There's a lot of off field here for him. There's some some of these teams have issues with the hot and cold. Some days he shows up, some days he doesn't. I don't think he's going to go as high as a lot of people had projected.
Oh, Lyle
Um,
Collins fell right out of that draft.
yeah, so we'll see. But for me, it's going to be Maisie Smith. I don't think they'll go second with him. I think he's going to be a third or fourth, just based on some of the things I've heard about him. But it would be a steal. But it is a roll the dice type of player, Mike. Just like you. So with Voorhees, I think these are guys that if you hit on him, you're gonna be looking real pretty in year two probably. Maisie Smith, I think you should be able to get something out of him in year one. You know what I mean? Especially with these.
Maybe it all depends on how fast Roger Goodell wants to move on that suspension.
Yeah. He's always looking for dinging these players, man, for off field. So got to keep an eye on that. The investigation, this sorts of things. So that's my guy there, Mike. Let me ask you this now: the most controversial position, and the Cowboys have kind of prepared fans for this, right? And Mike McCarthy has low key kind of prepared fans. Quarterback,
Oh yeah.
where and who?
You know, Hendon Hooker's my guy. But Mike, oh my God, it was all over my Twitter page the other day. He's 25. He's 25. Why would you draft him so high if he has to sit 1 year? Because let him sit 1 year. You act like that hurts him. That benefits him. And being able to go with Mike McCarthy, sit a year, learn a Mike McCarthy offense, right? 30%'s going in. How much is going to go in for a guy like a Hendon Hooker, right? So there's nothing in writing that says Dak Prescott has to get extended. There's nothing in writing for that, right? So Hendon Hooker, if they can figure out, that's my pet cat. As you talked about those Tennessee guys, Joe, that's my pet cat. Yes, he's 25. I get it, but that would be my guy. That would be my quarterback. If I had to go quarterback, that would be my guy.
Yeah, and it's interesting because he has already snuck into the first round conversation. Some are saying he could go there to Minnesota at 23. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
he
So
could.
it wouldn't surprise me. Uh, I think the fourth round is going to be also like we just said. The roll the dice kind of round. I said Maisie Smith. I think if you're looking at quarterback, I think the fourth round will probably be where they would like to go. You know what I mean? I think if you're looking at that, you're looking like at a Jake Hayner. You're looking at Aiden O'Connell. I think those two are good targets there for the Cowboys in the fourth round. Somebody that you can start prepping. Prepping and somebody that can beat out Cooper Rush. Okay, Cooper Rush has maxed out already. Yeah, he can win you some games, but he's not somebody that's going to, you know, um, take over the team if something happens. I mean, Dak's not getting any younger, right?
Or
So
healthier.
or healthier, and then that comes with age with every quarterback. So uh, definitely, I would like to see that. I want to I want this front office to let Mike do what he does with drafted quarterbacks that he hand selects and
And
he
develop.
can develop. You know what I mean? His guys. So I want to see what they can do here. I'm excited about this draft. I think the fourth round is where they might pick somebody up, Mike.
Oh, that quarterback can't start over Dak. He's a fourth round pick. I can already see people saying that on Twitter. I can already see it, Joe.
Oh, they'll definitely will be fans that hate it. You know what I mean? Like just they can't look past the television. It's you got to get younger. This is a young quarterbacks NFL. Those are the guys that are leading teams to the Super Bowls,
Preach it.
making Super Bowl appearances. That's not the older guys, man. So
Preach.
definitely we're gonna compete. We're gonna compete, but this is it, man. This is the year. Like if Dak and this team cannot get us to the conference championship game at least this year, that is it's not gonna happen, bro. So I want to see what they do. I want to load up on offense, Mike. How do you feel that this draft is gonna play out? Do you think it's gonna be heavy offense with the sprinkled in a few defensive players, or do you think it's gonna be an even kind of four on offense, three on defense, or somewhere like that?
I think you're gonna get a max 3 players on defense, and the rest is gonna be offense. The players you could get an edge rusher, you could get a defensive tackle, and you could get that corner. Those are the 3 interior and corners. I think you're fine at the safety position. I think you're okay with the Damone Clark emerging, Cox coming, right? So I think you're okay there. Citing Leighton Vander Esch. So and then having Wilson, that signing, Joe. Well, you don't even have to draft linebacker because Curse can come down in the box, Joe. Right, so that saves you right there. So those are my guys: edge, defensive tackle, and corner. All because they got Wilson back and Curse is still on this football team.
Yeah, no, I agree with those for sure. Offensively, I think it's wide open. I think they're going to draft basically from almost every position. I think you got a lineman you need a pass catcher, whether that's a tight end or a wide receiver. Maybe you even draft two wide receivers. Maybe you come out of this with a wide receiver and a tight end. You know what I mean? But for me, I want to give Dak the most weapons possible. You know what I mean? To really go all in on him because they didn't go all in in the free agency. Cowboys don't do that. So you better go all in offensively for Dak in this draft. Give him more weapons because we cannot go into the end of the season, Mike, and we lost a player here and we're crippled. So
Yeah,
we gotta
TP going down was just ridiculous, Joe.
yeah.
It really was. I mean, you had T.Y. Hilton on this team. You had C.D. Lamb, and a second string running back goes down, Joe, and that's the game. We
Yeah.
can't get 21 points in a playoff game after we just put up 30 on the Tampa Bay Bucks. All right, that blows my mind.
Yeah, it blows my mind, and that tackle, is being discussed. I don't know if they've banned that tackle yet officially or not. I don't. Do you know if they've banned that tackle?
They were talking about it, but it's nothing official.
That tackle is almost like the new. It's almost the new
Horse
horse
collar.
collar.
Yeah.
I mean, shredded Dak, shredded, Pollard, and that's why I think it's important to come out of this with another running back somewhere, Mike, because we all love Pollard, but realistic, is he going to be the same burst? Is he going to have the same home run ability, the same you know shiftiness? You know what I mean? So we saw
Yes.
Dak. I mean, he lost something there with the mobility there, and it's a similar type of injury. So that's my concern there. So I want to come out of this with the running back, Mike.
Oh, you have to. Yeah.
Running backs galore. This is actually a pretty good draft for running backs. Cowboys, they worked out Zach Charbonnet. I really like him. He's a UCLA product. McCarthy loves that program. Zach Evans is another one. I mean, there's a lot, you know, that are out there. You know what I mean? I don't think they'll go with the small running back. They probably want somebody that can be a finisher kind of guy, someone with some physicality. You know what I mean? To really wear down the opposing defense, Mike.
No, you need because right, we all know Tony Pollard is the Lightning, right? And I can't think of that dang running back who we signed, former Buccaneer, former Chief. What was his
So
name?
Ronald Jones.
Ronald Jones. I don't think Ronald Jones is the Thunder. All right, give me, give me, give me some Thunder.
That's what I'm saying. That's another player, right? That we picked up. It's not going to stop you from drafting a running back. All
Right,
the players that we added are not going to stop us from
right.
drafting
You
anybody
know,
at their position.
people are overhyped it. Oh, we got Gilmore. What Gilmore? 10 years ago, Gilmore or oh this Gilmore. Oh we got Brandon Cooks. What Brandon Cooks? Which one did we get? Oh, this Brandon Cooks. Right. It's just they did a lot of moves that I think were overhyped. People called it the best off season of the Cowboys. I totally disagree. It's just something that the names are familiar. They like the names that are familiar, and they think that they did something good, but they didn't.
Yes, yes, I know. I
They
agree,
didn't do.
Mike.
They did something good. They didn't do something great. Let me rephrase it. They did do something good. They did not do something great.
And that's what it is. The offseason is always about the overreaction on a lot of this stuff. So you've got players in place, but players that you can upgrade over. So it's not stopping me from a corner. It's not stopping me from receiver for sure. And that's how it should be. You know what I mean? Just keep adding players here. Mike, I think it's mock draft time here. Let's go through a couple scenarios here, Mike. So we can go through a couple. So let's go 4 rounds. We don't have to kill a dead horse here and drag this out to 7 rounds because these fifth and sixth round players we don't have to. But let's go 4 rounds, Mike, and let's do a couple scenarios here. Let's throw on some of the names that we talked about and see how we come out. So let me go ahead and get this going here for us.
Excuse me.
All right, all right, all right. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Let's get this thing on. Let's get this on the stream, Mike. Here we go. We are going with the NFL Mock Draft Simulator Pro Football Network. So, gonna go 4 rounds. We got the Cowboys here selected, and you and I are gonna talk through this. We'll do maybe 3 of these. So we'll go through a couple scenarios and see how we come out. So let's go.
Let's do it.
Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson, Will Levis. I've been seeing Bijan go way high. He's not going to be there for us. He's definitely not going to be there at 26 for the Cowboys, Mike. Do you agree with that?
Oh, I totally agree with that. Nolan Smith to the Steelers. Oh my God.
That seems like a pick for them, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
We're just going to stay and pick. So
Get out of here, Rams.
let's deny
That's
these
a
guys.
horrible. That's horrible anyway.
All right, Mike. We are now on the clock. Offensively, Peter Skoronski, I don't think that's realistic that he's going to be on there, Mike. He's gonna be going early. So I want to pretend that name is not there, Mike. So, but these other names I think are more realistic. So defensive tackle Cowboys, unless it's an Aaron Donald, I don't see them going first round with a defensive tackle. Kincaid, Mike, Mayer's there, Cansey's there, Will McDonald's there. We talked about him. Zay Flowers is there, Gibbs, Jalen Hyatt. We got a couple guys here. Drew
Yeah.
Sanders at linebacker, another guy there. So, what you feeling here? What scenario do you want to go with here?
I think Boston College is screaming my name, Joe. 12 touchdowns, 1,077 yards from Zay Flowers. All right. April Showers brings you Zay Flowers. All right. That's my team. That'll be my pick right there.
Let's go with that scenario. let's go with that scenario. Let's say, and we've already talked about this. It's possible that they could take a wide receiver here, say Flowers, Jalen Hyatt, you know, whatever. Maybe Quinton Johnson. If you want to screw up your draft, you could do that. But we'll go Zay Flowers here, Mike.
That was
Okay,
good. Did you see what I did there? April showers brings you Zay flowers.
I love it. I love it. It's a beautiful thing. So in this scenario, we went wide receiver in the first round. So let's see, where do we want to go in the second round? If the Cowboys went first round wide receiver, what do we need to do here in the second round in this scenario here, Mike?
You want to look at edge rushers. You want to look at edge rushers, and you want to look at maybe offensive linemen here, Joe. You want to get into the trenches, and you could possibly take a peek, turn the curtains back, Joe, and look and see what corners are there.
Let's take a look at let's take a look at offensive line. What's left here in guards? Steve Avila is there. Voorhees is there. Zavala is there. Bradford is there. Mafi's there. Got some players here. Could you stretch guard to the third? Let's look at tackles. We got some guys here. Bergeron is another guy that could flex to guard if you wanted to. He's there. Steen. Some people like Steen. I don't like how Alabama projects to the NFL. That's just me. Yeah, tackles. It's terrible tackle class. Terrible tackle class.
Hopefully the defense could tackle.
Yeah, let's take a peek here at who's left on edge. Nick Hampton, possibly Byron Young is there. Isaiah McGuire's there. But I feel like if I were to get somebody here, it'd probably be maybe Byron Young. Let's look at linebacker. We got a favorite here from DallasCowboys.com. Dion Henley, he's there. Ivan Pace, some people like him. Marion Overshawn, I'm not a fan of him. Martin Apu can get him there. Cam Jones is a good one. Okay, so let's look at cornerback, Mike. Okay. Carl Phillips, Tyreek Stevenson, Cowboys. That's a 30 visit there. Darius Rush is another good one here. Caillou Blue Kelly. Got some possibilities here. Let's take a look at defensive tackle. Okay, so defensive tackles, there's some good ones here, Mike. Keanu Benton, Jervon Dexter, Pickens, and Jacqueline Roy. I like all of these ones here. What's kind of pulling on your heart here? We also got John Michael Smith's available here.
Yeah, that's where you have to go, Joe. I mean, you have to. Yeah, you would have to go John Michael Smith. I mean, if you're following your board in this scenario, I know we wanted to look at defense, but if you really want to follow your board, you have to get Smiths right there over Avila.
There we go. And I do like him a lot more. It's a Big Ten run at will. You protect yourself at center and guard. I think that's a hell of a pick there for us here in this scenario. So we went wide receiver, we went O-line, and now
I don't want to say you have to go defense, but we have to look at what's available.
Yeah. There went Eli Ricks. He went pretty high. So we still got Henley out here, linebacker. Is this linebacker a true need for this team, though, Mike?
Well, you look at Jabril Cox. He did not see a lot of field. How's he coming back from that injury, right? We talk about Tony Pollard and that injury, right? This is an ACL injury here with Cox. Do they trust him, Joe? Do you lose Gifford to the Tennessee Titans, right? So linebacker could be a need here. Just all depends on how Dan Quinn sees it. So far, Chris, we got Zay Flowers and we got John Michael Smith. So that's our pick so far. But yeah, that's where I stand on that, Joe.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's a good point to make as well. So, Dion Henley's still there. Will he be there in the real draft? It's possible that he could be there. Washington State. He's a transfer. So, I think that's one that I would definitely consider there, Mike. We were looking at our top remaining defenders, Mike. I think I would go there with Henley myself, Mike. What are you feeling?
No, I think you go Henley there. I mean, that's Cowboys board. That's Cowboys radar. That's the pick.
There it is. I think we're killing this so far. So in this scenario, wide receiver, O
We
line,
finally got our defensive guy, Joe.
yeah.
We went linebacker. Out of everything we talked about in the show, we went LB.
And now we are in the fourth round. This is the roll the dice round. Let's roll the dice here, baby. Let's roll the dice on somebody here, Mike. This is the fourth round. Cowboys like to roll the dice. Who do we want to roll the dice on here? Let's grab our balls on this pick here. We're gonna roll the dice on somebody here. Who's it gonna be, Mike?
You want to grab some balls? Let's grab our balls and look at quarterback.
Fourth round. Grabbing of the balls. We got good selections here. Clayton Tune, Cowboys went with him. Dorian Thompson Robinson, they're definitely familiar with him. Aiden O'Connell, the private workouts, the background checks, high on him. Dugan and Jake Hayner, Mike. So we have a good selection here of quarterbacks. Fourth round.
It's still too rich to take him right here in the fourth, though.
Fourth round.
If they take QB here, I think you're reaching.
Fourth round.
With those names, dare I say, with those names, you're reaching.
Let's see who's left on defense. Let's see if we got any guys with machine guns in their back seat. Who do we have here that's highly risky? Would you dare take a kicker here, Mike?
No.
Jake Moody would be the only one, and definitely not a fourth round pick. Okay, so we'll look at offense. You got another receiver, Gaines, McIntosh. Okay, so we haven't gotten our running back yet, Mike.
We have no.
Kenny McIntosh. Cowboys met with him, interested in him, got good speed, good open field running. Georgia, Senior Bowl special guy. He's there, fourth round. Schoonmaker, tight end, he's there. There's Voorhees. Charlie Jones, wide receiver. Chandler Savala, still hanging around there. Andre Yosivas, he's still there. Payne Durham, that tight end specialist from Purdue, he's also there. What are you feeling, Mike?
Kenny, Georgia, McIntosh.
Go Kenny McIntosh. All right, so this is how this particular scenario shook out like this. All right. Well, we'll do another couple more of these here, Mike. So Zay Flowers, John Michael Smith in the second round, Darion Henley, Kenny McIntosh. I think with these guys, you improve the team immensely on both sides. And we're coming away from this with bolstering the offense, like what we've been talking about, Mike.
Yeah, no, this is exactly what we're talking about, right? I said maybe 3 players on defense, the rest offense, Joe. This is setting up for that to be that way, right? So you just look at the needs of this football team, you look at the weaknesses, you look at the strengths, and right now, as we talked about, the offense is the weakness.
So that's a scenario there. Let's rerun it and go another scenario, a different position group, Mike.
Hoodlum said solid draft. Cannonball said B plus. Thank you guys.
So in that scenario, we went with wide receiver. This next one, guys, we're gonna go a different position. We're not gonna draft a wide receiver here. Okay, so let's do it. Let's do it, Mike. You ready?
I'm right here in front of the camera, baby. I'm always ready.
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So in this scenario, we are not drafting a wide receiver. So ignore whoever's there. We're gonna go a different position here, guys. This is scenario 2. This is scenario 2. Let's see what position group we want to play with here. All right, let's kill that trade.
If only Joe Burrow's in that trade, that's the only way I'm taking it.
Right.
No, yeah,
Right.
Ooh.
Okay, so here's a scenario, and this is a scenario that has been talked about. I think you got to go here, man.
Yeah.
I think you got to go Joey Porter, Mike. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, that's what we're always on the same page, man.
Yeah. So that was a instant phone call to the draft guy in Kansas City, Joey Porter. All right. So we went cornerback, Mike, in the first round. This is going to open up an interesting chain of events here now in this scenario.
Yeah.
Because now we're looking at, okay, we went defense. Yeah. Time to help out Dak. Or do we go defense again? Let's play this out. Let's see if there's some receivers here.
If Drew Sanders is there, I'm taking Drew Sanders, Joe.
Or did we get wiped out? So Drew Sanders is there. That's a possibility.
That is the possibility.
Wide receivers, yeah. See, the wide receivers, you took a hit there. So
a big hit.
Let me see who's left here. So Mims.
We're not big on Mims.
Nah, I'm not. Yeah, this is scary here. Mingo's there. Tank Dell, U of H. This is not good stuff here. Tyler Scott, maybe. Man, that's rough. I think. Let's look at tight end. Sam Laporta, Iowa. Another one of those Iowa tight ends. They're kind of hit and miss like crazy, Mike. Does Sam Laporta do anything for you?
No. Not with a second pick. Not at all.
Running back, Zach Charbonnet's there. Evans, Bigsby, they're there. So still got some running backs here in the second round. Cornerback, you can get those guys later. Drew Sanders staring at us in the face here, Mike.
I mean, he's staring at me so hard. I think he punched me in the face. Pow pow.
Okay, so let's do it. Drew Sanders there. So far, where's the offense? Are we going to help Dak out? There's somewhere.
This is helping Dak.
Somewhere, somebody's screaming, "Where are the offensive help for Dak?"
This is help for Dak, all right? Because with Dak Prescott getting stale on those touchdowns, we need Joey Porter, pick 6, all right? We need Drew Sanders, tackle, force fumble, touchdown.
Yeah, I mean that would be interesting. It really would. Come on, get out of here. So we are now in the third round, Mike.
Oh.
Let's look at offense. Do we get our offensive help here? I think Bergeron would be a guy here I would look at, Mike, for your guard flex guy.
Zach Evans is there, Ole Miss.
Zach Evans, the running back in the third. Steen is there. Mingo's there.
Sean Tucker. Don't sleep on Sean Tucker.
That's right. That's your boy there. Sean Tucker's there. What kind of help do we want to go on offense? Let's look at tight ends. Durham is there.
We gotta do our due diligence on wide receiver.
Shoemaker's there. Kuntz, Latu. Let's look at wide receiver, Mike. Boots says there, Reed, Mingo. I think I know the guy I would go with here, Mike, will probably be Mingo here in the third. I don't know if he'll last to the third, but he's here for us. So I would go Mingo here. Give Dak another weapon. I do like Reed as well. What are you feeling here, Mike?
Go back to running back. You're picking the wrong Ole Miss player here, Joe.
Zach Evans in the third.
All day long. 365. Can't go wrong.
Let's go with that scenario here. We'll hold off on wide receiver. Let's go Zach Evans here. Third round.
Oh, miss.
Cowboys have become very familiar with the Ole Miss program, so none of this would surprise me. Zach Evans is also a 30 visit.
Right, Zach Pack.
Yeah, he's also a 30 visit, so keep that in mind. We are approaching the fourth round in this scenario, Mike.
Let's trade our fourth round pick for Felipe Franks.
Yeah. Okay.
All the old school Frisco guys will know that one.
Oh, yeah. So Savala is still there. I think if it were me, Mike, I'd be looking at Savala. Roll the dice player would be Voorhees.
Yeah.
Anthony Bradford would be another guard here. So
I said that my roll the dice pick in the fourth round would be Voorhees. That's what I mentioned.
Voorhees, Jason, the killer, bro.
The killer ACL.
The value is there. Running back, we already got our running back. Wide receiver. If it were me here in the fourth, probably looking at Charlie Jones. Be one of my guys. Tight end, Mike. Shoemaker's there. Durham's there. Josh Wiley's there. Got a couple of these guys here. Let's do that. Listen, this scenario, we're gonna roll the dice on Voorhees, fourth round.
Yeah, that's what I would do, dude. I started chuckling because I remember we talked about drafting running backs, and I'm reading Chris Perez's stuff here with he could be a problem and stuff, dude. You remember when we drafted Bo Scarborough? He went on TMZ, was like, "Yeah, me and Zeke could be the best running back duo in the National Football League." The dude didn't last 2 months on the football team.
Dude, yeah, people were just all over Scarborough, and they were like, "This guy, he was like." I think they thought he was gonna be the next Derrick Henry, bro.
I think you're right, dude. I started laughing at that because just talking about running backs and drafting, I was like, "Son of a gun, dude!" That it cracks me up how he went all this publicity with TMZ and talk about being a running back paired with Zeke, dude. It's freaking hilarious.
Yeah. So in this scenario, Mike, we went cornerback. And we actually went defense back-to-back here. Porter, Drew Sanders, Zach Evans. Roll the dice in the fourth round with Andrew Voorhees. I like it.
I like it, dude. I mean, if that's the way the cookie crumbles, that's the way it crumbles, man.
That's the way it crumbles. Let's do one more here, Mike. Let's do one more scenario. So in this scenario,
wide receiver, and we can't go
cornerback.
Get cornerback. We just drafted Porter.
Yeah.
So everybody keep that in mind. Don't be screaming at us because Porter's there or Drew Sanders is there. We want to draft guys that we haven't drafted. See how these scenarios play out. So don't kill us, all right, guys?
Well, there you go, Mike. Yeah, that's what the plan is here.
Christian Gonzalez with the Z. Miles Murphy to the Texans. I can see that. With their new head coach, I can see that.
Joey Porter to Pittsburgh would be a total that would be a fit too, wouldn't it, Porter?
Yeah. Nolan Smith to the Nasties.
We forgot to pick the Cowboys. They drafted Zay Flowers.
We got Zay Flowers again. Oh, hold on.
All right, so we got the Cowboys pick, guys. Okay, let's go. So in this one, we're not selecting wide receiver. We're not selecting cornerback. So if we see a guy there, We're going to ignore that. We're going to go a different position here for the first round and see how it shapes up our draft. So here we go. Yeah, and then that's part of the reason. I've mentioned this before. Part of the reason for the 30 visits is to either get the check mark on the player or get a check mark on why not to draft the player. So Zach Evans was a 30 visit. So they either wanted to get confirmation on why they want him or confirmation on why they do not want him. So that's a very interesting pick for the Cowboys, but definitely very talented. So here we go, Mike. We are on the clock here at 26. We are ignoring wide receiver and cornerback at this time for this scenario. What we want
That
to
was one
look
of my
at.
sources, Joe. My sources tell me that tomorrow the Dallas Cowboys are making a pick in the first round.
Indeed they are. Yeah. So looking at this, I don't think they would take Greasy
wow.
there.
Bijan Robinson to the New York Giants. Oh, wow. Wow.
With Saquon, that just doesn't seem realistic. I just don't see him going all the way to 25. He's gonna go early. All right, Mike. So we got something here to talk about. Where do we went cornerback? Will McDonald's there. I kind of want to run this with Will McDonald here as the possible pick because I think he's definitely in the mix. And
No
I kind of
brainer.
want to see how that shakes out, Mike.
It's a no brainer. I'm with you.
So let's do that. Let's just go with that. Let's go with Will McDonald, the edge rusher. High interest here by our coach Dan Quinn. Call it in. That's the pick. You have a succession plan for D-Law in place now. So I like the pick. It's a smart pick. We've been talking about Mike. It's all about making smart picks. Will McDonald there. Here we go in the second round. Where do we want to go here in this scenario, Mike? We went edge with the first pick. How do we feel about this second round pick here?
I like going edge in the first pick. I really do. Let's see.
Here we are. 58. The Dallas Cowboys are on the clock. How do we help this team? Can we help Dak here with the second round pick? Let's look at this. Gibbs staring at us in the face here. Is that realistic for you, Mike?
No.
Could that happen?
No. That could. I mean, something went terribly wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's there. I just don't know if that's realistic. Would he go all the way to 58?
Well, I can only throw what this mock draft throws at me, and that's all it is a mock draft. None of this stuff is real, Joe. Some of it might be. You never know. I drafted Oso Digizua to the Cowboys, and in the what was it, the third round or something, and he was right there getting drafted to the Dallas Cowboys third round. But anyway, I mean, Cody Mock at 58 says Army Mom Heather.
Cody Mock is there. Would they go Cody Mock here? Senior Bowl special. Definitely would be in their wheelhouse. Zach Charbonnet would probably be more a realistic option in the second round for the Cowboys. Darnell Washington would be interesting there. I think if it were me, Mike, because I'm just going to pretend Gibbs is not there. I'm looking at Washington and Charbonnet here, Mike, and Cody Mock.
Okay.
These three guys. What are you feeling like?
No, three different positions there. I mean, Darnell Washington would be the interesting, as Cannonball says, the interesting, dart throw, so to speak. Cody Mock, there too. But I would go Cody Mock here.
Let's go Cody Mock here. We adjust the O-line here. He's going to compete there at left guard. Let's go. Let's do it.
That assures that Tyler Smith is staying at left.
Indeed, and that's what we want. We want to come out of this without. Let's get away from musical chairs. Let's get away from the stupid talk about Tyron staying at left when he can't even stay healthy. This solves that. Solves that, right, Mike? So I love that. I do love that. It kills that, thankfully. And we're now in the third round, Mike. Let's see what we can come out of here in this scenario. So we went in the first round, we went edge with Will McDonald, the Dan Quinn special. Second round, we went Cody Mock, the offensive guard behemoth, the brawler. Here we are in the third round, Mike. We want to look at another offensive weapon here. We got some wide receiver options. We'll see tight end options. Cameron Latu, Shoemaker, Durham. Yeah, too rich there. Third round. Yeah, none of those really do anything there for me. Running backs. Bigsby is sitting there in the third. I kind of like that.
He is. So is Sean Tucker.
Sean Tucker. What's your thought on Kendre Miller, Mike?
TCU.
Too many fumbles. What do you feel like on him? That's kind of the thing that kind of kills me is the.
Yeah, but I think once he gets to the NFL teaching, Joe, I think you can clean that up. I mean, you look at Tyler Smith, right? Oh my God, we drafted somebody that led the college in holding penalties, right? I think if you can work on fundamentals, right? If Tyler Smith can stop holding penalties like that, Joe.
Yeah.
That running back can stop fumbling in the national. It's all about the coaching tree, Joe, that he's gonna go under, right? Because and then DeMarco Murray didn't start fumbling until we started giving him 300 touches a season, right? The more you give, the more you're gonna take, and he was a big part of that TCU success over there. So he's gonna fumble, right? So right program, they could fix that.
Yeah, so that's good. Caillou Kelly's there. Linebacker. Got some linebackers here. It's a good safety. Safety's probably. It's a good DT, Mike.
Zach Pickens.
Zach Pickens.
Oh, well, Byron Young's there too.
Jacqueline Roy. So I got some good inside guys here. We already got our edge guy. Linebacker. Cornerback. Offense, Mike. Best available. Bergeron. We already got our guard there. Bigsby, Mike.
Bigsby. Tyler Scott, Cincinnati.
Yeah.
It'd be Bigsby.
Yeah, I think we'll go Bigsby here. Auburn. Good running back. I like him. Third round. You got your running back. You got a guy who can truck you too. So I like the play from him. Probably makes Ronald Jones expendable. So Ronald Jones, at this point he could be bounced. You know what I mean? I mean, we've seen the Cowboys do that before. They're placeholders, right? These are bridge players. So bridge players, they're never secure, no matter what the name is. You know what I mean? So what we got? Fourth round, Mike?
All right. Let's see what we got.
Can we steal a receiver? I like Mingo there.
Mingo. Well, there you go. We could have had Mingo last round, but he's right here in this scenario, or last scenario. Now he's here in this scenario.
Yeah, I think you got to give another weapon here. This is a good one here, Mingo. And like I said, he's being mocked anywhere from the second onward. So who falls in love with him is going to be the key for Mingo. But I like him a lot. Ole Miss, they put in a lot of good NFL quality wide receivers, more than not. You know what I mean? Yeah. But look at this. In this scenario, we got Will McDonald, the edge guy, the Dan Quinn special, went to the trenches and got Cody Mock. John Madden would love that pick. He really would. Cody Mock. And then you go around and you go, Tank Bigsby here. You assure yourself that you have a quality back here who could carry the load for you. You know what I mean?
No, that's true. A lot of power there.
So you got a guy here who can carry it for you. Physical, got good speed, and then I think Jonathan Mingo is the steal of this draft here in the fourth round. So Mike, very fun scenarios indeed. Very fun scenarios. That's it, guys. We are just about to draft tomorrow. By this time, Mike, we'll be what, midway through the first.
Probably the 10th pick.
That's true. Yeah. Thursday night, it's always like, and then we're all the way at 26. It'll probably be like what, 10 or so by the time we make our pick.
Yeah, it'd be about 9:10.
Yeah,
It's
it's gonna be
tomorrow,
great,
guys.
guys.
It's freaking tomorrow. I thought this week was gonna go by so slow, dude. But I have not been thinking about it. I haven't been thinking about it, and I was like, all right, if I don't think about it, I think I'll be okay. But just work, just being busy, has
Oh yeah,
has helped. So,
definitely,
but
bro, definitely. Shout out to bro in the chat box. Great seeing everybody's conversation here in the chat box. Can't do this draft season without you guys. Appreciate everybody that's have their input, like everybody's conversation in the chat box. As usual, guys, we can't do this without you. Mike, my co-host, another great draft season in the books. We will be back definitely for some follow-ups to the picks and definitely a wrap-up show. You know, after the draft is done. After we get our undrafted guys, the overreaction to those, and our our main picks, Mike. So let everybody know where they can find you if they haven't already, Mike.
yeah, Cowboys Corner right here on YouTube, guys. It's almost that time where I start popping out videos again. Right? I mean, you see a mock draft coming from Cowboys Corner. It's right here on the best show ever, the Frisco Report. All right, FriscoReport.com, guys, for all your draft questions. Right there, FriscoReport.com. Make sure you hit that up. Podcast. Are we still uploading the podcast, Joe?
Yeah, we're on Podbean, and that goes out to Spotify and iTunes. So subscribe to those, and you can catch this on the audio replay. So
Yeah. On the
catch
way to
those.
work, on the 5 o'clock traffic jam. You know what I'm saying? Turn on some Frisco Report. Hear this wonderful voice. Hear that beautiful voice right there, Joe.
That's what it is,
Underscore
bro.
Cowboys
That's what it
Corner
is.
on the Elon Musk page. You
Thank you
won't see
very
a
much.
blue check mark. So pick wisely from those Cowboy Corner guys. There's no blue check mark for me.
There we go, man. There we go. The partner in crime, Mr. Reliable, Mr. Sanchez. Give Mike a round of applause here, man. Great, great draft work, my brother. This has been a fun draft season. Let's get it done, man. Tomorrow's the big day. We'll be talking. We'll be chatting. Make sure you guys are following us on Twitter. We might even go. We might even go crazy and go live. So we'll see. We'll see what it becomes. But guys, we'll see you for the post. Peace.